What's up, guys? PG coming at you with another video here. We're doing something a little bit different this time than the Bears franchise. So if you guys can see right here, we have a gentleman named Arch Manning. I don't know if y'all have heard about him. He's got some family that used to play in the NFL. Pretty big prospect. To be completely honest with you all, I first recorded this using some of the mods, using the Start Today feature. I had simulated 3 years in the future, brought in different draft classes. I kept it, realistic. I had all the guys between now and Arch Manning's draft class in the NFL. I had it all set up perfectly. My power went out an hour and 47 minutes into my recording, and I didn't think to stop and save it halfway through because, why would I? Started it up again, set the whole thing up again, and then the game crashed on me. So I'm going to do it a little bit differently this time. We're going to do this as if he was the top quarterback in this draft class, this recent one that just got done, because they didn't really have a top quarterback. Kenny Pickett went in the first round to the Steelers, but there wasn't that top guy. There wasn't that guy that was like, you know what, we need to trade up for the number 1 or number 2 pick and just go get this guy because he's a franchise quarterback. So we're going to do that instead. We're going to go similar to the first year. The rookies are going to be on different teams than they are in real life. That's unfortunately just kind of part of what this video is going to be. But at the end of the day, this isn't about anybody. It's not about Aiden Hutchinson. It's not about Devin Lloyd. It's about Arch Manning. We're going to see how his career pans out, how he compares to his brother, or not his brothers, his grandfather and his uncles, Peyton and Eli. And we're going to see if he can top them on the leaderboards or if he ends up being just middle-of-the-road quarterback who isn't worth the hype. So because of all the time that I put into this video, even though you guys are only seeing a couple of minutes of it so far, I'm officially one of those YouTubers that's going to ask you, if you like this video or if you like what I've done, please subscribe, hit the like button, throw a comment down there. I don't care if you put a comment with one letter or you just put Arch. I don't mind it. I put so much work into this. I want you guys to enjoy it. And just do me a favor. That's all I'm asking. Even if you don't like the video, just hit the like button. Help me out. Please. I love you guys. That's all I'm asking for. So we're here at the draft week at the end of the offseason. Ignore the fact that I'm the Bears. It doesn't matter. Everything's automated. We're going to go ahead and jump into the draft, see who drafts Arch Manning, and then we'll swap over to that team. I'm going to have nothing to do with how the team is ran, not who they sign, not who they draft, not even who starts. We're simply going to watch his career unfold. Tons of YouTubers have done this before. So you guys have seen tons of stuff, whether it's KOT, Bangle, Ant Ortiz does it with MLB The Show. Those are all guys that are the reason I started doing these videos in the first place. Alright, we are here at the NFL Draft. As I said before, I simulated this season. So obviously the Giants didn't have the number 1 pick in this recent draft. We're going to go ahead and wait for Arch Manning to get drafted, see where our career is going to start, and go from there. Aiden Hutchinson went number 1 overall to the New York Giants. Derek Stingley went to the Patriots. And Arch Manning is a New York Jet. I apologize, Zach Wilson. It's just the way this video is going to unfold. Alright, Zach Wilson's officially a New York Giant. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at him. I am going to give him superstar development. It's going to make it more fun. I mean, he's got so much bloodline when it comes to NFL talent, and this video is about his career, but we're also nobody's going to click on this video and want to watch him struggle and be a backup quarterback 6 years down the road or be a middle of the pack quarterback who doesn't do anything. We're here to watch his career go well. We're here to enjoy what may happen in the future or may not. So we're going to go ahead and get up to the mid-season mark and see how his rookie year starts off. And I'll see you guys in a minute. Alright, mid-season mark for Arch Manning's first season in the NFL. We are 3-4. A little bit better than I think could have been expected. Go ahead and take a look, see how he's playing this season. I didn't change any of the playbooks. I know Madden, they kind of, can adjust the playbooks and get better stats. I'm leaving it with the Jets. Robert Saleh is the head coach. He's got an offensive game plan in play. We're going to go ahead and keep it there. And you know what? Arch Manning, 1,600 yards, 14 touchdowns, only 4 interceptions. Can't expect a whole lot more from the young rook. 54% completion percentage. Like a little bit better than that. He's only throwing for 235 yards a game. Now we do have injuries on in this simulation. Because you know what? They're part of life. They're part of your career. Yeah, we could leave him off and he can play for 20 seasons and never have any issues. Or we could keep him on. I'm leaving the injuries on. It makes it a little bit more fun. Now, I said I made him a superstar development because I wanted to watch him succeed. If he blows his knee out twice in 12 years and he ends up not doing much, that was the Madden gods. I didn't have anything to do with it. I'm doing what I can outside of taking injuries off. We're going to go ahead and jump to the playoffs, see if we have a chance at making a wild card spot. We are only a game back from the Dolphins in our division, so he could make the playoffs his rookie year. We'll go ahead and take a look, see if we can't win Rookie of the Year and take a playoff spot. All right, so we ended up 5-12, had a really bad second half of the season. Now we were 3-4, ended up going 2-8 to end the year. Did win Week 18 against the Dolphins, so we're gonna have a high draft pick. Hopefully, bring in some weapons for Arch. Let's go ahead and take a look at the awards this year. See if he didn't pull out a victory. A victory? What the hell am I saying? See if he didn't win Offensive Rookie of the Year. He did, which is going to help us out. Jameson Williams, good for you. Arch Manning, Offensive Rookie of the Year for the AFC. It's going to help us out a little bit. He did have 4,000 yards passing, 28 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. He wasn't lights out. He didn't have a tremendous rookie year, but he had a good rookie year. I mean, that's a good touchdown to pick ratio for a young guy. 4,000 yards. I'd like to see him throw a little bit more. I don't know what Robert Saleh's offensive game plan is completely. Good rookie year. I'm not upset with it. I'd like to see us throw some more in his second year, but you know what? First year, defensive coach, I understand completely. Go ahead and simulate to the offseason, see if we can't improve this team through free agency. Not me personally, but see what the Jets do. See how much cap space they have and see if we can't make a second year leap. Alright, up to draft week. I'm not going to take a long look at how the defense is. Early in his career, he's on a bad team. So we're going to go ahead and just see if they add any weapons. He is up to a 77 overall. Got Tony Pollard we signed in free agency, which will bring in the best running back on the team by far. Nice weapon there. Elijah Moore and Corey Davis, both 80 overall. Ray McLeod, Denzel Mims, Justin Ross. We are going into the draft. Go ahead and take a look at who we pick up, if it's a big need for us or if it's someone that just helps us out on defense. Okay, it looks like we went defense in the first round. A couple of left ends. Everybody else is kind of just roster fillers. So we're not going all in yet to help out Arch Manning. It is just after his first year. Go ahead and hop into our second season. We'll go ahead and get to the midway point again, see if we can't. We were 3-4 last year, ended up 5-12. See if we don't have a better second season. All right, here at the midway point. You can hear my son's distaste for our 2-5 record. Not an improvement over last year. But let's go ahead and take a look. See if our quarterback, Arch, is playing any better. 1,900 yards, 11 touchdowns, only 3 interceptions. Completion percentage is solid. Throwing for a little bit more a game than we were last year. Now, I'm definitely impressed with these stats. He's playing well. He's taking the game manager approach early on in his career. So he's not losing games for the Jets, but he's not at the point in his career where he's winning games for them either. See if we can turn around the second half of the season. Make a wild card berth, possibly. I'm not expecting it, but I'd like for us to keep progressing him, get his overall a little bit better, and hopefully the Jets add some pieces this offseason so we don't waste a whole lot of his career. No crazy second half of the season for us. 5-12 for back-to-back years. No real improvement on our end. And it's a winnable division. The best team was 9-8. That was the Bills. Patriots, same record right behind them. So we'll go ahead and take a look and see how his season ended up. He did have a solid middle of the year. Ended up 4,200 yards, 26 touchdowns, threw 11 interceptions the second half of the year. Big reason why we went from 2-5 to 5-12. We'll take a look at what he's an 81 overall right now. 94 throw power, 80 deep accuracy, 90 medium accuracy, 83 short. His awareness is getting better. Throw on the run's not great, and break sack isn't great. He does have some speed to him, an 83 speed, some agility as well, so he is mobile. Just hoping to do something to help him out this year because we have not done anything yet. Back-to-back 5-12 seasons to start his career. But this 3-year mark For a quarterback, it's about that time they really take a step. So we'll go ahead and see you guys next season, see if they made any big improvements to this team. Alright, let's see what this team did in the offseason, see if they helped us out at all. 80 overall on paper, not bad. Arch Manning's up to an 81 overall. Brought in Teddy Bridgewater on a huge contract. It's a great way to use your money. Tony Pollard's still the running back. We brought in Russell Gage to improve the receiving core, which sadly does improve the receiving core. They didn't seem to bring anybody big in, free agency-wise anyway. Defense seems okay. See you guys at the mid-season mark. See how he's doing this year. See how the team's doing. Hopefully we don't have a 2-5 record again. I'd like to improve a little bit. Didn't I just say I didn't want to have a 2-5 record at the halfway mark? I guess beggars can't be choosers. Go ahead and take a look. See how he's doing this season. See if he's improving a little bit. 1,600 yards, 13 touchdowns to only 4 interceptions. He's very efficient, not throwing for a lot of yards. Not a great start to the second season for Arch Manning. I'm hoping that he can turn it around. Turn this team around. I mean, we need some wins. I don't want to have another top 5, top 10 pick again. But I'll go ahead and take a look. See what he's up to overall wise. See how he's improving. He is up to an 83 overall. Hell yeah. He's improving quickly. He's doing what we're expecting. He started off as a 72 or 73, I believe. So up to an 83 midway through his second season. Can't ask for a whole lot more out of that. Third season. I keep saying second season. Alright, we didn't quite make the playoffs. 7-10, improvement off last year. So we're on the right track. Going into season 4 next year, I'd like to see a huge jump out of him. Didn't quite get to 4,000 yards. Did have 32 touchdowns, 16 interceptions. Not super stoked about that. Solid completion percentage. Arch Manning is up to an 84 overall. Still rocking that superstar potential. Go ahead and jump to the beginning of next year. I'm hoping that we make some moves this offseason. I'd like to see them bring somebody in. But we'll go ahead and we'll take a look at the beginning of next year, see if they made anything to help this team out going into his contract year. Alright, before I look here, just looking at the overall, it's not looking like we did a whole lot this offseason with that cap space that we had. Got Arch Manning. We did let go of Teddy Bridgewater. That or he retired. This is what I'm talking about. Big offseason acquisition. Patrick Ricard. We got Elijah Moore, Russell Gage, and Corey Davis. Still running with the same 3. Did draft Broderick Cage and Charleston Richards. So they did go out and draft a couple of solid receivers. I don't know if the Jets have done enough to keep Arch Manning here. When we get to the midseason mark and look at our record, look at our stats, we will take a look, see if they re-signed him yet. If they haven't, hopefully, at this point, I'm hoping he leaves the Jets because they're not doing anything to make his career easier. He's a solid quarterback, and I'm just hoping that he has a chance to win a Super Bowl. And the Jets are not the answer. I was hoping he could turn the Jets around, but the Jets haven't done enough to help him turn them around. Okay, we're 3-4 at the halfway mark. I wouldn't call it much of an improvement. It is an extra game from where we were last year at this point. Only a game back of the Bills and Dolphins. The division that we can still win. I don't know if we have the talent to do it, but we're still in striking distance. Stat-wise for Arch this year, year 4, 1,900 yards, 13 touchdowns and 4 picks. He's usually very efficient the first half of the year so far, and then the second half he tends to throw a few more picks, get a little more reckless with the ball. He just play an extra game. Okay, well we didn't do a damn thing in the second half of the year. Dropped down to 5-12. Went 2-8. Yeah, 2-8 in the second part of the season there. I don't know. I'm hoping he leaves the Jets because I don't want to sit here and watch another 12 years of him going, 5-12, 7-9, maybe the occasional 9-8 wild card. Oh, he did get up to 5,000 passing yards, 39 touchdowns, 14 interceptions, a little high. But a great second half of the season from Arch Manning. Tried putting the team on his back. Defense let him down. We couldn't run the ball to save our lives. And we threw the ball all over the field, it seems like, in the second half, and we just didn't get it done. I do want to take a look. We'll take a look and see what overall he is, see if he ended up signing that contract with the Jets. I'm hoping he didn't, but it looks like he did. He's up to an 87 overall. Take a look at that contract he got with them. See how long we're going to have to sit here and suffer. Ended up being 5 years, $131.3 million. Not a great contract. He's not a super high overall yet. He's going to keep progressing. Hopefully hopefully this team does something this offseason they haven't done yet, which is sign some people to help him out. Russell Gage is a decent acquisition. Tony Pollard's kind of been a waste of money. But we do have $56 million going into the offseason. We need some help on defense. We need some weapons on offense. Our offensive line's good. I hope they do something because I don't want to sit here and waste your guys' time, mine, or Arch Manning's. Alright, back here in Season 5 of Arch Manning's career simulation. Offense seems to have improved up to an 83 overall. Defense went down to a 77. We are no way, shape, or form any better of a team. But we'll see what they did in the offseason, see what they drafted. We drafted a quarterback with, I'm assuming, our first round pick. Which, that's just something I hope Madden fixes. Yeah, pick number 2, Kurt Lowe, quarterback, great. You know what? This is what he gets for staying with this team. He wants to stay a New York Jet. He wants to be loyal to the soil. He gets to reap the benefits of it. It's his own damn fault. Catch you guys at the midseason mark. Another season of Arch Manning's career. Another 2-5 record at the halfway point. I was really hoping this video would be fun. I wanted you guys to enjoy watching this and keep you guys around. It doesn't look like it's going to happen. Now, he does have 2,000 yards, 17 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Throwing for a bit more yards now. He's 6th in the NFL in passing yards. He's 5th in the NFL in passing touchdowns. We're not running the ball super well, but we're passing the ball well. Let's see what our rankings are this season. We are 19th in points per game, 7 in passing yards per game, 29th in rushing yards per game. Our defense is just bottom 10, 12 of the league and everything. Yeah, I mean, we're not good, and I don't know what else we could do. I mean, we don't control anything. We're just watching this poor guy waste his career away in New York, like so many other guys have done in their lives. If we somehow make it to the postseason, I'll go ahead and show you guys. Otherwise, we'll just see how this team improves next year. Okay, I lied. I wasn't going to talk to you guys if we didn't make it to the playoffs. Look how piss poor of a team this is. We went 4-13. Even in Madden simulation, they know how inept the New York Jets are, and they just make you worse. 4,500 yards, 34 touchdowns, 17 interceptions. All right, here we are after that offseason, up to an 81 overall, 81 on offense, 83 on defense. Take a look, see what they did this offseason. I'm not expecting much because they really haven't done much. Arch Manning, still just a superstar. He's up to 90 overall though. 26 years old. Got Elijah Moore up to a 90. Brought in DJ Chark, it looks like. Oh, there we go. Our big offseason acquisition was Chris Jones, our second defensive tackle. Fantastic. DJ Chark and Chris Jones. I'm glad I could be a part of this. Oh, we brought in old as hell Tyrann Mathieu too. And 3 punters. That's it. That was the answer. We'll just line up with 3 of them back. You know who the hell's going to kick it. I'll see you guys at the mid-season mark if you're still sticking through this video. Alright, we spent a little bit of money in the off-season and it didn't help whatsoever. Coming in at 2-5 at the midway mark again. 2 games back of the Bills in first place in our division. Go ahead and continue to take a look at how Arch Manning is doing. Then again, it doesn't matter because we're not going to make the playoffs again. Got 2,000 yards, 14 touchdowns, 8 picks. Down in completion percentage, up in yards per game from what his career average is. Happy to see. Oh, we got Harrison Butker too. He's not even kicking well. This is what the Jets do to you. You see this? Harrison Butker. My apologies. Fantastic kicker. 72% field goal percentage this year because we just sucked the life out of you. See, my son's even upset about it. You can listen to him screaming. That's how mad he is at this point. I'll see you guys at the playoffs. We're not going to be part of it, but I'll see you there. I'm just going to go to the end of that. I'll see you guys in a little bit. You want to say hi to the YouTube people? You the only thing that's going to be views because Arch Manning ain't doing shit. Say something. Now you're going to be shy. You yell all the time, and now you're going to be shy. I'm going to be honest with y'all. We were 2-5. My son was kind of getting antsy. I simulated to the off season. As you can see in the standings, we made the playoffs. The one time that I didn't simulate to just the playoffs, we made the playoffs. I apologize. I'm new to YouTube, and I'm clearly not very good at it. I may never be. Let's go ahead and take a look at the postseason. We won a fucking playoff game. We beat the Steelers 38-23. Arch Manning in his first career playoff game, 370 yards, 4 touchdowns. Great game from him. Phenomenal. Stepped it up. Put the team on his back. We did lose the second game to the Chiefs. 250 yards, touchdown to pick. He wasn't great, but he was solid enough to give us a chance to win. Defense played relatively well, only 230 yards from Pat Mahomes. Oh. Alright, well, I apologize that I suck at YouTube. I'm still getting it together. But, on the bright side, we made the playoffs for the first time in Arch Manning's career. Let's take a look at how he did this season. 5,200 passing yards, 42 touchdowns, and 13 interceptions. He had a tremendous second half of the year. He's finally starting to become his own. He's playing up to a 95. He's a 92 overall. Still a superstar. English is difficult. But we're making strides. He's taken this team to the promised land. This team had a second half resurgence that I wasn't expecting. They went 8-2 to end the season, won a playoff game. They finally started to come together. Now let's see what they do this offseason to add to that, because we're clearly not there yet to be a Super Bowl contender. I'll see y'all in the beginning of next season. I will never skip a wild card or a playoff again. I promise you that. Alright, we're halfway through Season 7 here. I'm realizing that this is definitely going to take a long time. I'm probably taking too long in the first half of this career anyway, so we're going to go ahead and jump ahead. We'll get to the end of each season. We'll see how he's progressing, see what he put up for each season, see if he makes any more playoff appearances. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut back on the mid-season showings and any of the off-season stuff, unless anything insane happens or if he ends up leaving for a different team. But I don't want to make this video an hour and a half long for you guys. I don't want to edit a video that's an hour and a half long. So we'll go ahead and I'll see you guys at the postseason. Okay, here we are in the postseason. We ended up going 8-9, did not make the playoffs. Take a look at his stats real quick, see where his contract is. Like I said, we're not going to spend a whole lot of time doing this. So 5,200 yards, great there. 33 touchdowns, 17 interceptions, throwing a lot of picks. 63% completion percentage, 305 yards per game. He put up some really good stats. Just, we're not getting any wins, and he's not put up a lot of touchdowns. Passing yards are all over the place, though. Alright, he does have 2 years left on his contract, so we'll go ahead and keep an eye on that. He's going to hit free agency at some point soon. And at the end of 10 years, we'll stop and do a career stats checkup. But other than that, I'll see you guys next postseason. Another Arch Manning career year. Another Jets missing the playoffs. Take a look at the stats real quick. A little bit down in yards here, 4,800 yards. Did throw for 39 touchdowns. Touchdowns are up, picks are down. Completion percentage is a little bit lower. Yards per game are a little bit lower. He's still a 93 overall. Missed the playoffs again. He's only had the playoffs. He's only been in the playoffs only one time in his entire career. Does have a playoff win, but as you can see, our defense was terrible. Alright, our team on paper looks really good. I'm going to go in 7-10 again. Take a look at the stats. Looks like he's down in passing yards, 4,750. Down in touchdowns, down to 31. 14 interceptions. His stats are pretty similar every year. Oh, we got a new receiver, Brock Steele. But, moment of truth, we're going to see if he re-signed during the year or if he's going to become a free agent. And he re-signed for 4 years, $148 million. Looks like he likes the agony of being a New York Jet. I'm hoping we make some postseason pushes because this has been atrocious. But I'll see you guys next postseason. Well, all right, here we go. You know, second postseason appearance in his career. Hovering around 30 years old. We were the third in the division at 9-8, but we must have made it into the wild card. Great season by the Patriots. Arch Manning, 4,800 yards, only 27 touchdowns this year, 13 interceptions. I was wondering if we had a good running game, that's why, but no, we didn't. Offense is just a little bit down this season. But let's go ahead and see if we can't win a playoff game. He is 1-1 in his career in the playoffs. He hasn't had a whole lot of opportunities yet. And we lost. He is now 1-2 in the playoffs. Not a whole lot to show for this season then. He's playing up to a 95 overall, still just a superstar. Never got to that X factor. He's 31 years old. He's not regressing yet. But 10 years in the league. We'll go ahead and take a look at his career stats, where he's at halfway through. Well, maybe he plays 20 years. Maybe he doesn't. But through 10 years, 46,000 yards, 331 touchdowns, 141 picks, 61% completion percentage for his career. Been sacked about 500 times. Good golly. But like I said before, he is 1-2 in the playoffs, so not a whole lot of success outside of really just Rookie of the Year and pretty decent stats for his career. But I was hoping a little bit more. I was hoping for more out of him. We'll see how the rest of his career goes. But I'll see you guys in the postseason next year if we make it. Another season, another missed playoffs. Oh, we are up to Superstar X Factor though. It's a little interesting at the age of 32 years old, finally getting it. Is that Omaha? It is. Oh, that's just convenient. You can't write that kind of stuff. All right, I'm going to take a look at his stats this season. 4,500 yards, 33 touchdowns, most he's had in a couple years. 16 picks, also most he's had in a couple years. Completion percentage 61. He's throwing the ball a ton. I don't know. At this point of his career, we're not getting any playoff success. He's not going to reach his uncles at all when it comes to that. Those accolades, but we'll keep an eye on the leaderboards when it comes to records. He may pop up there on some of them soon, and he may have a chance at least leaving his legacy there as opposed to Super Bowl wins. But we'll see how he fares next year. End of year 13, I believe it is. Another missed playoffs. 8 and 9, game behind them. I haven't done any other career simulations, and this may end up being super realistic, but I ain't having fun anymore. I'm just in it for the long haul to see what his stats are now. He hasn't done anything. He ain't really been worth a damn. He ain't been worth the #1 pick. He hasn't turned the Jets around. He hasn't left the Jets. But I'll take a look at his stats real quick and try to enjoy something. Lamar Jackson's still balling out. He's fallen down the middle of the pack. 4,500 yards, 31 touchdowns, 14 interceptions, 62% completion percentage. He's still about 9,000 short of being on the passing yards list for a career. He's about 100 some odd short for that. I don't think he's going to hit that one. He's sitting at 395 touchdowns right now, 55,000 passing yards. He may end up hitting those lists at the end of his career, but I don't see him having a whole lot more success. Is he starting to regress yet? No. Okay, well, there's still hope. I'm not even going to say it anymore. Missed the playoffs. Alright. And he re-signed, it looks like. He did improve this year, at the ripe age of 34 years old. Threw for 4,400 yards, 31 touchdowns, 17 interceptions. Now, injuries are on, but I haven't seen him miss any time yet. Signed a 2-year contract worth $115 million. I don't blame him for not taking the contract. But at 34 years old, it kind of looks like his career is going to end in New York. We're going to start keeping an eye on the retiring in the offseason so I don't miss it. Take a look at his career stats at that point. But he's still a couple years away from hitting the record books. But see if we make the playoffs next season. All right, end of the season, 4,300 yards. Great touchdown to interception ratio this year. 38 touchdowns, 9 picks, solid completion percentage. Didn't throw for a ton each game, but still put up a good stat line. Now, for the most surprising part, look at that. Back in the playoffs, 9-8 record. Whole division actually had an above 500 record, which is impressive. We'll go ahead and see if we can't get a wild card victory here against Denver. And we did it. Second time in his career that he's made it to the divisional round of the playoffs. Taking a quick look at how he played. Phenomenal. 317 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. 20 for 28 passing. Looks like he played phenomenally. He just played really well, if you remember, from about 7 hours ago when we were in the wild card the first time. My apologies. He played phenomenally in the first game. Torched whoever we played, and then in the second round kind of wet the bed and realized he was a little too young for it and decided not to go back to the playoffs for 8 years. So we're facing the Browns this time. Same exact overalls on paper. Hopefully we can get a win and hit that conference championship game for the first time in his career. And it's over. We lost 24-13 there in the divisional round to the Browns. He is 2-3 in his career in the playoffs with not much else to show for it. But we made the playoffs again, and we actually won a playoff game again. Jets fans should be happy because they don't get to see a lot of that. So there's a silver lining, but now we're just waiting for the career to end at this point. If y'all are still sticking around somehow and haven't just simmed to the end of the video to look at the stats with me, I appreciate you, or you probably fell asleep or walked away from your computer at this point, which I don't blame you for any of those, but we'll see how he's doing next year. Wrapping up year 15, 4,300 yards, 32 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, 62% completion percentage. We missed the playoffs. We had 1 year of success. Couldn't expect anything different. Now, being this late into his career, he is starting to look at the leaderboards, but he's not quite there yet, just because of the success that the guys right before him have had. As you can see, a bunch of young quarterbacks, well, young currently, but not so much in the simulation anymore, are up there. Tom Brady ended with almost 90,000 passing yards. Lamar Jackson with 85,000 passing yards. And he's not going to be up here in touchdowns either, I believe. Yeah. He's currently at 68,000 passing yards for his career, just under 500 touchdowns, 209 interceptions. Decent career completion percentage. Solid quarterback rating. He's had a very solid career, but for a top 3 pick, I believe he's pick number 3. For a top 3 pick, you'd expect a little bit more success for your franchise, especially a little bit more than 2 playoff wins in 15 years. But he's also been sacked almost 800 times. We'll take a look, make sure he doesn't retire this offseason, and see how his career goes from here. I was just grazing through the roster before I simulated the playoffs, and he's down to an 87 overall. He is starting to regress pretty heavily. As you can see there in the offseason, he went down significantly. He's going to keep doing that now, so we'll keep an eye on that. For his sake, I'm hoping he retires soon. He doesn't have a whole lot to stand on, and he's 36 years old. That being said, he is the top quarterback on the team by far. Even if he regresses the next couple of years, if they don't bring anybody else in, he will. So we'll see if we make the playoffs, and honestly, we'll just kind of wait for his career to end. Alright, end of year 16 here. I don't know why it says experience 15. 4,700 yards, 35 touchdowns, and 15 interceptions. Another solid year. His numbers are pretty much the same every year now. But we did make the playoffs. We're in the wild card round against the Dolphins. Go ahead and sim to next week, see if we can't pick up another playoff win. Maybe he'll have a really late career push and get himself a Super Bowl win before he ends up riding off into the sunset. We did get another wild card victory. We're playing the Texans in the divisional round. He's 0-2 in the divisional round, has yet to make it to an AFC championship game. See if we can't break that magic here. And we lost in the divisional again. I do want to take a look at how he played in the playoffs. 270 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception against the Dolphins in the wild card round. It looks like their quarterback got hurt, which probably helped us. Divisional round, 216 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, 16 of 33 passing. He's yet to play well in a divisional game. He has a couple good outings in the wild card in his career, but nothing in the divisional round. If he retires in the offseason, I'll see you guys. If not, we'll see you at the end of the next regular season. Alright, Arch Manning in his 84 overall, playing up to an 87. Threw for almost 5,000 yards, 42 touchdowns, and 7 interceptions. I don't know what got into him. But even more so, take a look at this. 14-3. Now we're still in the wild card for some reason. But we won 14 games. I don't know that we've won more than 9 games, maybe once in this entire thing. So he waited until he was almost 40 years old to start playing and leading this team. We'll see if we can't get a playoff win against the Steelers here, cement his legacy. Oh, Jesus. Just retire. It's over. There's no point anymore. Now you're wasting my time. Lost to the Steelers 28-14. Arch Manning is officially on the career passing yards list at number 7, right behind Trey Lance of the Buccaneers. 78,242. Now he does have more passing yards than Peyton and Eli. I don't know if he's up here on touchdowns. Oh, just hit the list with 573. A touchdown behind Justin Herbert. Let's get to the offseason here, see if he doesn't retire and put us out of our misery. Archie Manning did not retire. He re-signed with the Jets. He's down to normal development. 77 overall. He's a shell of his former self. But he wants another go with the Jets. Here we go. Season 937. Coming up to an end here. 77 overall. 4,600 yards, 37 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. Honestly, his last 2 seasons were his two worst overall since he was drafted. Putting up the best numbers of his career. I'm not really sure what got into him, but we did make the playoffs. We're in the wild card again, facing off against the Steelers, and we lost again. I don't see an AFC Championship coming at all with this career. Please retire, for the love of God. After 18 seasons, Arch Manning is finally going to call it quits. See if he's anywhere on the leaderboards here. He had 2 yearly awards. Take a look at everything. He dropped down to a 72 overall at the end of his final season. He won Rookie of the Year, and then his second to last season, he made his first Pro Bowl appearance and led the league in passer rating. For 16 seasons, he did nothing noteworthy in the NFL other than just throw the football. And he ended up winning. He ended up winning awards. So we'll go ahead and take a look at the career stats for the end of it. He really just had a prolonged Andy Dalton career. He didn't do anything. He ended up 4th on passing yards with almost 83,000 passing yards. He threw for more than Eli and Peyton and Archie. Passing touchdowns, he ended up 10th on the list with 610 passing touchdowns. Again, ahead of Peyton and Eli and Archie. This isn't a career sim for Lamar Jackson or Trey Lance, but good God, look at the stats this guy put up. Both of them. Regardless, Archie Manning, if this turns out to be how he actually is. So Archie Manning, 18 years after graduating from Texas. He had a very good career stats-wise. He went to a tough team. They never put anything around him. He had 1 season. They won 14 games. He went to, I believe, 2 or 3 divisional playoffs. Handful of wild cards. Was never a great performer all out in the playoffs. He had a couple good wild card games. Put up about the same stats year after year, including his final season. He was a very good quarterback. He just never... It's a team game, and he never made it to the Super Bowl, never had a chance at success. Then again, he didn't win any awards either. He led the league. He had 1 Pro Bowl appearance in 18 seasons, so... I don't know about you guys. You can tell me in the comments who you thought had a better career out of all the Mannings. I don't. I put Cooper probably ahead of Archie, but behind Eli and Peyton by a mile. I hope he has a better career. He has more success when he makes it to the NFL himself. But I had a lot of fun making this video up until the last few seasons where he just kept getting worse and he never left the Jets. I hope you guys enjoyed it. A lot of work, time, and effort goes into this. Anyway, I appreciate y'all for checking this video out. I'll catch you later.